Welcome! Today we are gonna rank the studio albums by the band Penguin Cafe Orchestra. What you see here is the two official live albums, When in Rome, which was released in 1988. It is a very good live album where they kind of play most of their famous songs. Here is another live album called Concert Program. This is a double CD, and you get in total 20 songs on it. If you know Penguin Cafe Orchestra but don't know their live albums, I'll warmly recommend Concert Program. Also, Penguin released tons of compilation albums. I won't even show any of them. So let's dive into it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 studio albums released under the name Penguin Cafe Orchestra. And at the bottom, it is their very last one called Union Cafe. In a way, it's a shame placing this album at the bottom, because it is a very good album. The only, I won't say problem, but my main gripe with this album is it is way too long. I bet if this was released, or if it was released on an LP, it would probably be a double album. But there are some interesting songs and some kind of throwbacks to other earlier songs. Songs worth mentioning here is Gerzo and Trio, Lifeboat, Cage Dead, Vega, Yodel 3, Pythagoras on the Line, and there is one longer song, Vega, of course, a 10-minute song, which is very interesting. I'm not sure I'm gonna give these albums any ranking, should I? But okay, let's give them a rank. Penguin Cafe Orchestra Union Cafe gets a solid 7.5 out of 10. Fourth best Penguin Cafe Orchestra album for me, it is Signs of Life. This was released in 1987. I'll show you the back. Not sure if you can see it properly. Here's the cover. Here's the image, some drawings. This is a very interesting album. I think I like everything on it. Beanfields, Southern jukebox music, Horns of the Bull is brilliant sung by Simon Jeffs and performed only by Simon Jeffs, where he plays a fretless, it says fretless guitar, but it sure sounds like a bass, so probably a fretless bass, and he uses a ring modulator. Next is the more traditional Oscar tango, which also is good. Then we get the Snake and the Lotus. Again, this is all performed by Simon Jeffs. Here he's credited with bass guitar and soloban shakers, some kind of percussion instrument. Then we get the song Rosa Solace, and it's an okay song, maybe my least favorite. Hard to tell. It's it's probably a little bit too traditional for some of my enjoyment. Then we get the brilliant song called Dirt, and then we get yet another solo Simon Jeffs song called Simply Sketch, and I like it. Then we get maybe the most popular song on this album, Perpetuum Mobile, and I love it. Then we get a fun little song called Swing the Cat, and the album ends with an 11-minute ambient song called Wildlife, which is beautiful. Very, very good ending to a very good album. In terms of rating, this is an 8 out of 10. Third best, and yes, these three best ones are highly recommended. Third best album is the debut album called Music from the Penguin Cafe, performed by members of the Penguin Cafe Orchestra. This is the old analog to CD version. I was told that this sounded so much better than the remastered version. And to be honest, I never could really tell if the old pressing was better or not. Anyway, this is an album I really, really, really love. But the reason I place it third is there are a couple of pieces that don't do it for me. Of course, it opens with one of their most famous songs ever, called Penguin Cafe Single, and it's a masterpiece. And then we get a suite of sorts under the name Zopf, which in fact I think Zopf was kind of a side project in a way from the Penguin Cafe Orchestra, because you get Emily Young singing a little bit, and you also get Neil Rennie, he's playing some ukulele, but the rest of the personnel is the original Penguin Cafe Quartet, which is Helene Liebman, Gavin Wright, Steve Nye, and of course Simon Jeffs. And this Zopf piece, I like everything except the song with the vocals, which just sounds like a weird old classical song, but I'm not sure that it's something to do with the vocalization on this. Just turns me off. But of the Zopf pieces I love from the Colonies, I love I love everything except the one with the vocals. There is one song that is very kind of depressing. I'm not sure what the title of it is, but if you know Penguin, if you know this album, you know what song I mean. He sings something about suicides, and the production of this is really good. It's kind of a mixture of lo-fi, folk. It has a very natural feel to it, and of course every instrument is recorded by hand, so it sounds very authentic. And this sub medley, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces in total, and the running time is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 50 minutes. And then you get one of the most beautiful ballads I've ever heard, a song called The Sound of Someone You Love Who's Going Away, and It Doesn't Matter, and it lasts almost 12 minutes, and it is just fantastic. Next up we get the song Huge Baby, which also is okay, and it ends with another beautiful song called Chartered Flight. And also quick note, it says here recorded on location between 1974 and 1976, and in fact Brian Eno was credited as the executive production or producer, but I don't think he worked anything on it. He just paid up for the first vinyl pressing of this, which again has a totally different cover than the one that we all know. And if I were to remove the song with vocals on it by Emily Young, in fact you probably know Emily Young through Syd Barrett, a song called See Emily Play, and every artwork by Penguin Cafe Orchestra was painted by Emily Young. So but yes, if I were to remove this short song with vocals, I would give this a 9 out of 10. But we have this short song with vocals, which I just can't stand, and I'll be honest, it's my least liked Penguin Cafe song of them all. I can't stand it, to be honest. So yes, regarding this song is on the album, I'll give the album a ranking of 8.5 or 8.8 or something like that. Well, second best Penguin Cafe Orchestra album for me, it is Broadcasting from Home, their third full-length album, and by now they are a real band. I don't know if we need to go through the musicians, but all of the originals are still here. Steve Nye, Helen Liebman, and also Jeffrey Richardson joins the band. He is probably a little bit more famous for playing in Caravan, and there I'll show you a little link after this ranking, which includes both Simon Jeffs and Jeffrey Richardson. But yes, why is this album my second favorite? Well, because it is fantastic. It opens with a very famous song called Music for a Found Harmonium. Brilliant. And then we get Prelude and Yodel. Brilliant. And the rest of the side A is again fantastic. Side B opens with the song called Music by Numbers. And that tune is also a masterpiece. Another one from the Colonies is also a good song. And I also need to mention the last two songs, I Love You and Now Nothing. This album is, to me, a 9 out of 10. So, probably no big surprise for you who know Penguin Cafe Orchestra's albums. It is their second album, just called Penguin Cafe Orchestra. This is a 10 out of 10. I don't know if I need to explain why it is, but songs like Era Dancer, Yodel 1, Telephone and Rubber Band, and I promise you, you have heard this song, Telephone and Rubber Band, because it was used in many commercials. Then we get one of my all-time favorite songs called Cutting Branches for a Temporary Shelter, which is a very mellow and beautiful song. It is played on a very special instrument. I believe it may be a dulcimer or a dulcitone. I may be wrong. Then we get Pythagoras Trousers, which is a more uplifting song. Then we get the masterpiece Numbers 1 to 4. Side B opens with Yodel 2. It's a great song. Then we get a more folky song, Salty Bean Fumble. We get Paul's Dance. We get my least favorite on this album, The Ecstasy of Dancing Fleas. But it goes by so quick that I don't mind it at all. We get Walk Don't Run, we get Flux, we get The Great Simon's Dream, we get Harmonic Necklace, and we get a beautiful ending song called Steady State. So if you are thinking about checking out Penguin Cafe Orchestra, this is the one to check out. Or maybe just go for a best of, because most of their best ofs are very good. They tend to include most of the important songs. And as a little bonus, I don't know if you know the band Caravan and the New Symphonia, but this is a live concert they did in October 1973. So this is basically pre-Penguin Cafe Orchestra. And the interesting thing here is, well, at least I think on the original LP, it opens up with a 6-minute song called Introduction. And this one is written by Simon Jeffs, and this tune is also a masterpiece. It doesn't resemble the Penguin Cafe Orchestra, but you clearly can hear that Simon Jeff wrote it and is involved in it. And also another fun fact, Sid Vicious did a cover version of My Way, and guess who arranged the strings? Simon Jeff. So that's another fun little fact. I'll also show you really quickly the things I haven't got. This is an album, an EP called the Penguin Cafe Orchestra mini album. And what's special with this? Well, it contains a couple of hits, but the song The Toy is nowhere to be found except on this EP. And also I believe it's piano music, which also is exclusive for this release. And I'll show you this one, Still Life at the Penguin Cafe. This is a BBC concert orchestra where they kind of more or less play best of Penguin Cafe Orchestra. I'm not sure if every song here is re-recording or if they used the original songs on the albums that I got. It looks like these are re-recordings from December 1989. So I just reminded myself that I need to get this, even if every song here is to be found on other Penguin Cafe Orchestra albums. And the last one I'll mention is sadly the only solo album by Simon Jeffs, called Piano Music. And I believe these were more or less sketches that he worked on before he passed away. Well, okay, a lot of different stuff here. Something, I'm not sure if it's recorded or written, but you can see here 1999, 1977, 1996, 93, 96, 89, 90, 93, 96, 74. And here piano music is in fact included on this one. And this is also an album I need to get. I have never had the chance to obtain a copy, but someday I will buy it. And also I'll show you really quickly, they did quite a lot of compilations. The first one was this one, Preludes, Airs and Yodels, which is a good introduction. They did another one which was used as a movie soundtrack. They released another best of called A Brief History. They released a box set, 4 CDs called A History. They released another one here, I don't know that one, and I don't know that one. And they released one called Best, which I also don't know. But I know this because this was the first album that I heard from Penguin Cafe Orchestra. And if you just look at the titles, you can see that most of the important songs are featured on this. So that was my ranking of Penguin Cafe Orchestra. I hope you enjoyed. If you have a different opinion of the ranking, please leave your ranking in the comments. That's it for now. See you next time.